Hello and welcome back to Alice Talks Football for another transfer daily live stream, and some interesting news has come out. Some big news has come out, and of course the main news has come out about Raphael Varane from Fabrizio Romano, so that will be the starting talking point for today's video. Sancho is officially done, medical done. Man United to announce Sancho and the new kit tomorrow. We'll talk about all the latest on players like Camavinga, Delo, Trippier, Paul Pogba as well, but this video is going to focus on the Raphael Varane news that's come out today. I'm going to report you on everything that's been said from Fabrizio Romano. Where is the Varane deal up? What's the latest on the Varane situation? How close is the deal and all of that? So to stay up to date on everything regarding Varane, stay tuned. But we'll also be talking about other things, because I know the Varane deal is starting to drag on, and Varane deal was like the new Sancho deal, where we're just kind of bored and we're just like, get this Varane deal done, get this Varane deal done. I know how you feel, but you know what? Some interesting news, some big news regarding Varane, and it's come from the Don, Fabrizio Romano. So guys, smash that like button, and please do subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football. We're 13 subscribers away from 15.1k, 13 subscribers away from 15.1k. So hopefully we can hit that by the end of the live stream. But like, subscribe, share, and I'm going to get straight into the news, and then I will address and read out some of your live chats, some of your live comments, and all of that. But we're starting with the main thing I want to talk about. Now, you know, unless you've been living under a rock, you know that Raphael Varane has been linked to Manchester United. There's lots of reports saying Varane wants United, United want Varane. We've known this for months, okay? But what is really interesting regarding the Varane situation is a lot of people are sceptical whether to believe these Varane rumours or not, because they believe that Varane could just be doing what Ramos did in 2015 and using Manchester United for a new contract. However, Fabrizio Romano on his Twitch said, regarding Varane using Man United for a contract, Fabrizio Romano said, could Varane be using Manchester United for a new contract? Romano says he thinks no. He thinks Varane wants to try something new. He doesn't believe Varane is using us for a new contract. Now, Fabrizio Romano is the most reliable guy out there. He is a tier 1 journalist, and I think if Varane was using us to just get a new, bigger contract at Real Madrid, Romano would know. And Fabrizio Romano said he believes that Varane is not using Manchester United for a new contract. He believes that Varane generally wants to try something new, go to Manchester United, go to the Premier League. And I think that is probably the most important thing Fabrizio Romano said. It obviously said that we'd reopen talks and all of that. He talked a lot more. He said a lot of things. But I think that is really big, because I think, you know, I sat here 75% Varane going to come, 25% Varane stays at Real Madrid, because I knew there's a possibility that Varane could be using us. But after the news that Fabrizio Romano is coming today, I am 90% Varane to United, 10% Varane stays at Real Madrid. You know, it's the 90% club again. And I am going to talk about everything Fabrizio Romano said, but I think that was something that really stood out for me. He believes Varane isn't using us for a new contract, which hopefully is the case. Now, Fabrizio Romano on his Here We Go podcast said a lot of things about Raphael Varane. I'm going to read out sort of quotes of lots of different things he said that's important, and then I will discuss a little bit more transfer news and stuff. But we'll talk about Varane first. I know some of you guys are probably bored of Varane to Manchester United, but this is like a genuine good update from Fabrizio Romano. He said that Real Madrid want to talk to Raphael Varane and understand his position on a new contract. What I know is his desire is to try something new, but let's see how it turns out after he talks to Real Madrid. So Fabrizio Romano says that Real Madrid do want to talk to Varane, hear from Varane face to face, but Romano said, look, he believes his desire is to leave Real Madrid, but you have to see till after his talks with Real Madrid. I believe those talks between Varane and Real Madrid will be held this week as Varane returns from training. Fabrizio Romano followed that up by commenting, if Varane confirms he wants to leave and try something new, Manchester United will make a proposal. Personal terms aren't an issue with United. They have been in good talking with the agents for months and have a good relationship. So Fabrizio Romano said, you know, personal terms isn't an issue. We have a good relationship with Varane and his agents. We'll pay the wages. He said that before. You know, personal terms won't be an issue. So, you know, we're just waiting for Varane to confirm that he wants to leave and try something new. And obviously he didn't comment on this during the Euros. He's on holiday, and he's probably comes back from holiday in the next couple of days. He's probably going to confirm to Real Madrid that he wants to try something new, because Fabrizio Romano believes that's what he's going to say. And Fabrizio Romano is nearly always right. So the situation with Varane is, you know, Man United are waiting for Varane to officially confirm to Real Madrid he wants to leave before they put in a bid for Varane, which is interesting news. Romano followed up by saying Manchester United have had a direct approach with Real Madrid the last few days to inquire about Varane. The deal is not imminent at all. It will take some days or time to decide when to go for the official proposal. So again, he's reported that Man United have been in contact with Varane's agents for months, but he's also said that Man United have recently been in contact with Real Madrid. So, you know, we can all of a sudden be in contact with Varane. You know, that's what 90% club does, but we're also in contact with Real Madrid. Fabrizio Romano, once again, confirmed that. And Fabrizio Romano also said that Manchester United have many other names on the list apart from Varane, like Pau Torres, Jules Koundé, Christian Romero, and other alternatives. He says the situation is that United want Varane, but they have to be cautious and keep an eye on their attendances. So what Fabrizio Romano has basically said, to sum up all he said he believes that Varane is not using Manchester United for a new contract. He believes Varane generally wants to leave Real Madrid, generally wants to come to Manchester United. He said, once again, personal terms will not be an issue. United will pay the wages, but Varane wants to come. United are waiting for Varane to confirm he's 100% leaving Real Madrid before they go and put an official proposal to Real Madrid, but they have been in contact with Real Madrid, which I think is very, very interesting news. And I think that is sort of the main thing coming out. Romano also did talk about Pogba, saying that Manchester United do want to try and keep Paul Pogba. He said talks are not over yet regarding a new contract. We'll see in some days. There's a lot of rumours about PSG, but he said there's nothing advanced between Pogba and PSG. He says the situation is still open with Manchester United and Pogba, and PSG will have to see how they plan after Ramos. It will take some time to see how it develops. So Fabrizio Romano's not only talked about Raphael Varane, he's also talked about the Paul Pogba situation, and he's confirmed that there is nothing super advanced going on between Paul Pogba and Real Madrid, Paul Pogba and PSG, which is good to know. Any questions for me, please do pop them down below in the live chat. I'm going to try and read and reply to as many comments as possible. Now, Fabrizio Romano tweeted about an hour ago, and I know I keep saying Fabrizio Romano, so call me Alice Talks Fabrizio Romano, but he is the Don of transfers. Romano also tweeted an hour ago regarding Raphael Varane, saying Manchester United now back in direct contact with Real Madrid for Raphael Varane. So Romano's confirmed we are in direct contact with Real Madrid for Raphael Varane after opening talks weeks ago. You know, we've gone back into contact with them. He says negotiations on personal terms, not an issue. So personal terms will be agreed, all of that, if Varane officially wants to leave. Man United confirmed their intention to sign Varane, official bid in once they know Real Madrid's final position. So United are very, very serious about getting Raphael Varane. You know, this isn't just a PR spin. This isn't just a rumour. We're very, very serious about getting Raphael Varane. We're back in negotiations. You know, personal terms isn't an issue. Once again, United want Varane. It just depends on, does Varane generally want United? And Fabrizio Romano believes Varane generally wants United. So I think it's just a matter of next week or two just to see where this deal goes. But I am like 80% sure United are going to get Varane. I think everything's indicating United's going to get Varane. I don't think the deal will happen for a week or so, but I think a lot of things are indicating that Manchester United would like Raphael Varane and all of that. Fabrizio says PSG can't sign Ramos and Varane together. Exactly. PSG were our main competition for Raphael Varane, but they won't be able to sign together. Thank you very much for the super chat. Yashir Shazan saying, hello, how are you doing? I'm doing very well. Thank you very much. United Varane news has heated up, which is always good to see. But thank you very much for the super chat. Any questions for me, please do pop them down below in the live chat. Aaron Blair says, big up Alice from Jamaica. Love your content. Manchester United, keep up the great work. Thank you very much for the comment there. Yuxify says, hey Alice, reaction on transfer window so far. For me, it's been absolutely shameful. We've only brought in Sancho. We've not sold or loaned any players like Matic, Lingard and Pereira. Yeah, to be fair, we've brought in Sancho. That's our main target. So it's been good in that sense. But, you know, we haven't sold anyone. We haven't brought anyone else in yet. But I don't think we can judge the transfer window till the end. Arsenal did lose their pre-season game to Hibernian. They found their level. Well, Hibernian are probably better than them. I definitely said that wrong, but, you know, whatever. Arsenal did lose. Banter FC. They're going to banter us for signing Sancho and Varane when they've got Ben White and Pepe. You know what they are. If we don't get a CDM, Donny has to play, and I do agree with that comment and all of that. Any questions for me, pop them down below in the live chat. I'm going to read out a few more transfer news content. So, put them in. I'm a bit burpy today. But more news coming in is Fabrizio Romano confirmed it, BBB Buzz confirmed it, everyone's confirmed it. Manchester United and Borussia Dortmund have signed all the paperwork for Jadon Sancho. United are preparing the official announcement with their 2021 kit. What a surprise, what a surprise, what a surprise. Well, it's not a surprise. We all said that Man United would announce Jadon Sancho with their new kit, and that's exactly what they're doing. Jadon Sancho had his medical today, completed his medical today, and I believe that Jadon Sancho will be announced tomorrow along with the new kit. So no surprises there. Predictable as always, Manchester United. You love to see it. And thank you very much for another super chat from Yazir. Who is your favourite Man United player of all time? Oh, that's a very, very good question. Obviously, I grew up watching Ronaldo, Rooney, Tevez. Obviously, Tevez ain't my favourite. I feel like I should say Ronaldo, but I feel like that's a bit basic. But he was probably my favourite growing up. Favourite of all time, though. I did like Scholes. I thought Scholes was fantastic. There's a lot of players I like now, but I have to go with Ronaldo. I know it's a bit basic, but I would probably have to go with Ronaldo for that one, honestly. But thank you very much for the super chat. Jersey number for Sancho. Well, Sancho's jersey number will be announced tomorrow. Will he get number 7? Will it be something like 17 and he'll get 7 next year when Cavani goes? That's the thing. I think it's going to be 7 or 17. I don't know. I do not know. PSG have given up on the idea of signing Messi in other news, but do you really care about PSG news? No. Arsenal losing, life pretty normal as always. Any questions to me? Please do pop them down below in the live chat. Conclusion, how are we looking this season as far as the Big Six is confirmed? Well, do Arsenal count as the Big Six? You know, Spurs have just got to beat up Mourinho and Nuno. Arsenal are shy. I don't need to worry about them. You know, Leicester is probably competition for top four, but I think, you know, where United finish next season really depends on probably the transfer window. Rich's favourite United player of all time is Cantona. Very, very good pick there, Rich. Signing Varane is bigger than Sancho. Do you know what? It is. Sancho is a bigger signing in terms of PR spin, social media clicks and all that. But I've said this before on my channel. Signing Varane is bigger than signing Jadon Sancho, because when you sign Raphael Varane, you sign a centre-back with pace. So when Maguire plays next to a good centre-back, he looks brilliant. He looks so much better next to John Stones, so much better next to Tuanzebe, so much better next to Bayer than he does next to Lindelof. You know, centre-back is about partnership. Maguire doesn't look good next to Lindelof. We play McFred to protect Maguire and Lindelof. We don't play McFred when Bayer's playing. We don't play McFred when Axel's playing. McFred played to protect Maguire and Lindelof as a pairing. You put Varane in, you don't need to play McFred. The weakness in our team is Lindelof and McFred. You buy Varane, you get rid of Lindelof, you get rid of the McFred pairing because they don't need protection. Because Varane's got pace, you play a higher line. So I think Varane almost would have more impact on us than Jadon Sancho. I know we need a right winger, but higher line, no McFred, you can play more expansive football, score more goals. And Varane affects the defence, but I think he also affects the style of we play, which affects the attack. So I've always said, you know, I think Varane is a massive, massive signing. And thank you very much once again for the super chat you see here. Van Dijk or Vidic? Got to back Vidic. Got to back Vidic there. Do you think PSG are going to sign Paul Pogba? I think it's a 50-50, but Fabrizio Romano obviously came out and said, look, there's nothing advanced between PSG and Paul Pogba yet. Nothing advanced between PSG and Paul Pogba yet. So I think we'll have to see where it goes. I think right now it's Varane to United. It's very, very likely. Once we sign Varane, it's going to be, do we get Camavinga? Do we keep Pogba? I think that's the rest of the transfer window. I think that's the rest of the transfer window. I think we'll get Varane in July, and I think we'll spend August working on Camavinga or working on the whole Paul Pogba situation if I was really going to predict how the transfer window was going. Alice, do you think if we get our players, we can contend for the UCL or Premier League? I think if we keep Pogba, we get Varane and we get Camavinga on top of Sancho, then yeah, 100%, 100%. Camavinga could be waiting for PSG over Man United. That's a possibility. It has been said that Camavinga would prefer PSG over Manchester United. Wasn't surprised there, but apparently PSG would rather pull Pogba and all of that. Leicester have found their level. I don't see them breaking into the top four. I mean, I don't know if Leicester can break into the top four, but they're definitely a top six team now. Who would you rather have, a slow turtle like Lindelof or Fred who will give the ball away? I'd rather play Fred than Lindelof. I actually think Fred's a decent player. It's an unpopular opinion of mine. Isaac says, Shaw has been so good this season. Proud of how far he's come. I'm proud of how far Luke Shaw's come. He's been absolutely fantastic. And, you know, it's really unlucky not to get in team of the tournament for the Euros. I think Luke Shaw should have gotten in team of the tournament for the Euros. But I guess Spinazzola was really, really good. But Luke Shaw has been fantastic in the Euros. Luke Shaw has been fantastic for a while. Luke Shaw is just a fantastic player. And, you know, he's unlucky not to get in the England team of the Euros, but he was in Man United's team of the season. Sorry, the Premier League team of the season. Luke Shaw has been absolutely fantastic lately. Hi, Alice. Will we ever get a CDM this summer, and what are your thoughts? Well, there's a chance we get Camavinga. It's a 50-50 between United and PSG to get Camavinga. So whether Paul Pogba stays or goes, we're still going for Camavinga. But I think, look, if Paul Pogba leaves, we'll go in for Declan Rice, I'm sure. If Paul Pogba leaves, we'll go in for a CDM. But it's Camavinga and Paul Pogba stays, or Paul Pogba leaves Camavinga, or Paul Pogba leaves the CDM. I think that is the situation. Thanks everyone that's just joined the stream. Please, of course, hit that like button, subscribe down below, and share this video. If you've just joined the live stream, Fabrizio Romano has obviously confirmed that Manchester United are now back in for Real Madrid. We're in direct contact with Real Madrid for Raphael Varane. You know, personal terms is an issue. And one massive, massive important thing that Fabrizio Romano said regarding Raphael Varane is, he said that he believes Raphael Varane is not using Manchester United for a new contract. He believes Varane generally wants to try something new and generally wants to join Manchester United. So the Donna transfers for Fabrizio Romano said that he believes Varane isn't doing a Ramos. Varane isn't using us for a big new contract. Varane wants to come to Manchester United, which is massive, because if Varane generally wants to come to Manchester United, this deal will be done. And Fabrizio Romano believes that Varane generally wants to come to Manchester United. And a lot of people don't realise, you know, Real Madrid have to sell Varane. So if Varane wants to come to United, and we know personal terms is an issue, Real Madrid will have to sell Varane. And if Real Madrid put Varane up for sale, United are very, very likely to get him unless someone like Chelsea swoop in. So Varane to Manchester United looking very, very likely. That's the big news. And obviously the Sancho deal is officially done. He's agreed his medical, and Sancho and the new kit is believed to be announced tomorrow, which will be interesting news coming in. Rich Sports says, hopefully Greenwood will have a big season. I do agree with you there, Rich. I want Greenwood to have a good season. He is my favourite current Manchester United player. And Romano said, Man United won't sell Paul Pogba cheap. Yeah, you're going to have to pay 50, 60 million pounds to get Paul Pogba. Man United are willing to risk losing Paul Pogba on a free. Nick Morris has told me that Ollie has said more players will be sold and loaned out in August, but he needs them at the moment with so many out after the Euros. Yeah, I think that's the situation. You know, a lot of people complaining that we haven't got rid of a lot of our deadwood, but we don't have enough players to play on pre-season because most of our players have been involved in the Euros quite late, so they need a holiday. You know, Sancho's not going to play in our first 2 pre-season games. As much as we want to see him, he's not going to be playing against Derby County in pre-season because he's on holiday and all of that. So yeah, you make a good point there. And all of that. Obviously, Marcus Rashford obviously was racially abused on social media, and it's really good to see the response from everyone. You know, it's a very, very small minority of people that have to send that horrid abuse. But I have to say, you know, people going to the Marcus Rashford mural and all of that, congrats to you. Show Rashford your support, show Sancho support, show Saka your support, because there's some really, really nasty people out there. And I know it's only a small minority, but words hurt. So I also wanted to talk about Marcus Rashford as well while we're on it. You know, if you're watching this video and you've ever thought about sending abuse, don't. And please just send support to all our players, because they're our players. And even if they're not our players, send support to Saka, because at the end of the day, they've got us to the final. They missed a penalty. You're only human. Ronaldo missed a penalty. I think it's always important that, you know, you can critique a player's performance. You can say Rashford's not been very good second half of the season, but there's no excuse of the abuse, especially when it comes to racism. So I did want to quickly talk about that while we're on the topic and all of that. But any questions for me, please do put them down below in the live chat. Any questions you have for me regarding transfers, any questions you have for me personally, just put them down below in the live chat, and I'll try and reply to as many questions as possible. Would I prefer Camavinga or Rice? I think Camavinga's better value for money, and I think Camavinga could be the new Kante and would be brilliant in the pivot with Paul Pogba, and Camavinga could be a better player than Declan Rice. And I think maybe in terms of value for money, Camavinga, and in terms of potential, Camavinga. But I think right now, Declan Rice would have more impact on that Manchester United squad than Camavinga, because you could play Declan Rice, Pogba, Bruno, but, you know, Camavinga, Pogba, Bruno, is Camavinga ready? That's the question. But I think Rice would have more impact, but I'd probably rather have Camavinga in terms of value for money. Also, guys, please do subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football. We are 10 subscribers away from 15.1k. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe down below. I do daily Manchester United content on my channel. So if you want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news and transfer news, please do subscribe. We're talking about the latest news regarding Raphael Varane. And that is that Fabrizio Romano has confirmed United are now in direct contact with Real Madrid for Raphael Varane. We're back in for Raphael Varane. We're trying to make these talks progress. You know, Varane, personal terms isn't an issue. Varane wants United, and Fabrizio Romano obviously said that he believes Varane generally wants Manchester United and he's not using them for a new contract, which is absolutely massive news, because I think there's a lot of us that were doubting the Varane news and the Varane story, saying, is he using us? But Romano, the Donna Transfers, believes that Varane isn't using us. So I feel like this Varane deal is very, very likely, and I think the Varane news is really going to heat up in the next week. You know, he gets back from international duty. He's going to probably tell Real Madrid he wants to leave. So this week's going to be a massive week, because I think there's going to be some massive, massive Raphael Varane to Manchester United updates this week. You know, Romano's obviously said some interesting things. I think we could be on the verge of signing Raphael Varane in the next week or two. I think there's a lot to keep an eye on Varane to Manchester United. I think this deal is going to step up really, really quickly. I think Varane generally wants to leave. I think this deal is going to heat up. So make sure to subscribe, because if we're about to sign Raphael Varane, and the moment we do sign Raphael Varane, and the moment we get, oh, here we go, Raphael Varane's a done deal, please do subscribe so you'll stay up to date with all the latest on the Varane transfer news, because that is definitely going to heat up in the next few days. Ollie just announced that loan deals are incoming for Pereira and so many young players. Yeah, Pereira's going out on loan. I think we should just sell him. Delo might be going. I know Williams is probably going to go out on loan. I know Nengi's going out on loan. I think Tuenze's going out on loan. And I know Chong's gone to Birmingham City on loan. Rich Sports says, just my opinion, a couple players linked with Liverpool and Arsenal also might be looked to go deep in Europa League. Yeah, I'm not sure. There's a few players linked to Liverpool and Arsenal, but I'm keeping my eye out on Man United news. Sancho is a right winger or a left winger? What side do you prefer most? I think Sancho will come to United as a right winger, because we don't have an out-and-out right winger. Well, Sancho played just as many games on the left wing last season as he played on the right wing for Dortmund. He's very, very versatile. He played his first 2 seasons majoritarily on the right wing, but the last season he played a 50-50 between the left and the right wing. And then it's very good that Sancho can play on the left and the right, because with Marcus Rashford's injury record, I think that could relieve some pressure off Marcus Rashford. So, you know, I think Sancho's coming in to play on the right ideally, But that's what it is. Romano also gave us an update on Bruno Fernandes. Fabrizio Romano said when it comes to contracts at the moment, Bruno Fernandes is Manchester United's priority. Talks with his agents. After Sancho, we want to keep the balance of all the top players' salaries and all of that. So United want to renew a new deal with Luke Shaw, Bruno Fernandes, and Paul Pogba. Romano also talked about Donny van de Beek. He said that Donny van de Beek is focused and the people at Manchester United love him. He will not be included in a Varane deal as of today. If an important bid arrives, there will be a chance of him leaving as well as staying. It's a 50-50 situation. So regarding Donny van de Beek leaving Manchester United, Romano said, well, if a bid arrives for him, it's a 50-50 situation, but Manchester United do love him and probably do not want to sell him. And Fabrizio Romano also gave us the latest on Edouard Camavinga, just reminding us that Manchester United have a very, very strong interest with Camavinga, and we're talking to Rennes, we're talking to the Rennes camp, but it's not in the final stages. So the Varane deal is obviously heated up massively. Varane to Manchester United heated up massively. United back in contact with Real Madrid, waiting to see what Real Madrid do. Obviously, personal terms isn't an issue. Romano's confirmed Varane wants Real Madrid. He's not using us for a new contract. But also Edouard Camavinga, we're in talks with Real Madrid for Varane, but Manchester United are actually in talks with Rennes for Camavinga as well, but nothing is advanced in that situation. So lots of news going on. Sancho completing his medical today. Romano confirming United are back in talks with Varane. Varane wants United, and United are in talks with Camavinga, but there's nothing advanced between those United Camavinga talks. But lots of big news has been said today and all of that. Also, Romano said that there's nothing between Alex Telles going to AS Roma, because that was a rumour. I believe Alex Telles will stay at Manchester United. And Romano also said regarding Camavinga, he said Camavinga isn't a rush. Manchester United are in talks with people close to Camavinga, also with Rennes, understand the price of 30 to 35 million euros, maybe 40 if they have to negotiate, but they are in a race. So Romano's also confirmed United not in a rush for Camavinga. United are in talks with Rennes, but there it's between us and PSG. He's basically said earlier, he didn't say that in that quote, but we can sign him for about 30 to 35 million euros. So we're going to get Camavinga for about 30 million pounds if we can beat PSG to him. So just to sum up all that news, Varane, personal terms not an issue. United backing for Varane. Varane wants United. That deal 80% likely to happen. I think 80-20 Varane to Man United. Man United are in for Camavinga, but we're not rushing that deal. And Sancho has officially done his medical, and that Sancho deal will be announced tomorrow. So massive day regarding Manchester United news. A lot of interesting stories coming out. So please do hit that like button and all of that. Please do subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new to the channel. If you want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news and transfer news, please do subscribe down below to the channel if you want to stay up to date with all of that, because every like, sub and share means a lot. Chris says, which trophy would you like to choose for our players to get, UCL or Premier League? Well, UCL means best in Europe, and it'd be nice to rub it in City's face if we want another one. But I think because it's been a while, and I feel like I'd generally rather win the Premier League over the Champions League, just because I think the Premier League is like a whole season and you build up to it. I think I'd rather win a Premier League than the Champions League. But I think if we won the Premier League this year, then I would say the Champions League the following year. I mean, they're both amazing achievements. Why are we not selling any dead ball? Well, Nick Morris talked about this earlier. He said that literally, I think it's because, we're going on pre-season, but Rashford won't be playing in the first few pre-season games. Either will Sancho, either will Shaw, either will Maguire. So we need to keep the dead ball for the pre-season games, because obviously us with England going so far in the Euros and a lot of players going so far in the Euros, they're not all going to be available for pre-season. Arsenal can start their pre-season today because they're a mid-table club and they don't have many players in the Euros. But when you're a top club like Manchester United, you're going to have a lot of players playing in the Euros. So Phil Jones will probably be playing in pre-season. Just because Phil Jones is playing in pre-season, it means he's not going to play when the season starts. But, Maguire and Lindelof are still on their break, so they won't be in those pre-season games. The update on Varane is that Varane is not using us for a new contract. That's what Fabrizio Romano believes. Man United are back in talks with Varane, and I think there's going to be some big updates this week once Varane confirms to Real Madrid that he wants to leave. But yeah, 90% Varane to Manchester United. It's the 90% club. Honestly, I was 75% sure that Man United were going to sign Varane yesterday. I'm now 90% sure Man United are going to sign Varane, because if Fabrizio Romano says that Varane isn't using us for a new contract, and Romano is the Don of transfers, and I generally believe that United can get this deal done over the line, because you've got to think the situation with Varane to Manchester United is United can get Varane if Varane wants United. Varane's got 1 year left on his deal. I've said this time and time again. Raphael Varane will go to the club he wants to join. Fabrizio Romano says he wants to join Manchester United. So Varane is very, very likely to go to the club he wants to join. If Man United pay the money for Varane, which I believe they will, because he's our number one target now, I think, yeah, I'm 90% United get Varane, because I'm like, we've dropped interest in all our other targets when you think about it. Varane wants United. Fabrizio Romano's confirmed he's not using us for a new contract. So surely Real Madrid will be forced into selling Varane, because they won't want to lose him for free. And you've also got to remember, and I've mentioned this before, that Real Madrid want Kylian Mbappe this summer. Real Madrid want Kylian Mbappe, and that's an expensive deal to do. Even though Mbappe has 1 year left on his contract, it's a very, very expensive deal to do. And the situation with Real Madrid is, they can get £50 million if they give us Varane. Varane wants to leave. We're willing to offer Varane 12 million a year in wages, whilst Real Madrid are only willing to offer him 8 million. So Varane wants to come to Manchester United. Personal terms won't be an issue between Varane and Manchester United. He wants to leave. Real Madrid can get 50 million for Varane and get him off their wage book, and that means it's easier for Real Madrid to get Mbappe, because we do know that Real Madrid desperately want Kylian Mbappe. So look, that's why I'm 90% sure that Man United will get Varane. That's why I'm 90% sure of it, because I just think he wants us. Personal terms ain't an issue. We're definitely in for Varane. We're back in talks. Romano confirmed that he isn't using us for a new contract. He generally wants us. If he generally wants us, he's not going to sign a new contract at Real Madrid unless they offer him ridiculous money. Real Madrid will not offer him ridiculous money because they're willing to offer ridiculous money to Kylian Mbappe, so they have to free up the wage bill. So I'm very, very confident United will get Varane, but I'm not a genius. There's always a chance that Chelsea could swoop in and get Varane and all of that. But if you want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news and transfer news, please do subscribe down below. If a massive update happens regarding Varane to Manchester United, I will be loved to update you on that. If we sign Varane, I'll be loved to update you on that. If we're close to signing a player, I'll be loved to update you on that. We know we're in talks with Rennes for Camavinga, but that deal's progressing quite slowly. We know we're back in talks with Real Madrid for Varane, and we're just waiting for Varane's decision, which Fabrizio Romano believes Varane's decision will be to join Manchester United. Once Varane decides to join Man United, something can progress with Man United and Real Madrid, and that's a likely thing to happen. But yeah, lots of news coming in. Pogba to PSG isn't advanced, so there is a chance Pogba stays. There's obviously a chance we get Camavinga. It is between us and PSG to get Camavinga, and obviously the Varane deal is heating up. So please do subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football to stay up to date with all those stories, because obviously the Varane situation is a very, very interesting situation, and it's going to develop quite quickly in the next week or so. I think Varane could be a done deal in the next week or so. Any questions for me, please do put them down below in the live chat. Any questions for me regarding transfer news, any questions for me regarding Manchester United, any questions for me in general, please do put them down below in the live chat. Who do you think would be a great backup right back? Well, I'm happy as Delo's backup right back. I'm happy as Trippier's backup right back. I'm happy as Tavernier for backup right back. I'm happy as Max Aaron's backup right back. I mean, it's a backup right, but they're not a first choice right back. So as long as they're Premier League quality for a backup right back, I'm not that bothered. Noah says, come on, Man United, get Sancho, but we need Varane in the CDM or still a bad summer. And I do agree with that comment there, Noah. United are in for Sancho. We're very, very, we've got Sancho, sorry. We are in for Varane. We're very, very close for Varane. But we also do have an interest in Camavinga and a lot of other players. So, yeah, solid point there. Pogba is not a CDM. You could see that in the Switzerland-France match. Pogba's not a CDM, but he does play quite well in the pivot, in a dual pivot. He couldn't hold on his own, but he does play quite well in a dual pivot, in my opinion, if you want my own thoughts and all of that. Romano, just for all of you guys who just joined, Romano did say that the Jadon Sancho announcement will probably be in the next day or two. We're going to announce it with our new kit. So obviously Jadon Sancho's all done. He came for his medical today, but the Jadon Sancho announcement is pending. And Fabrizio Romano said on Twitch that Manchester United are back in direct contact with Real Madrid again 2 weeks after opening talks. United told Real Madrid they want to sign him and are ready to make an official bid once they know Real Madrid's final position. United will go all in for him. So what Romano is saying is, once Real Madrid know for sure Varane won't sign a new contract, Real Madrid will put a price tag on Varane, and Man United will pay that price tag, and Man United will sign Varane. So 90% Varane to Man United. We are the 90% club, as you know. And, Romano said the most important thing is he believes that Raphael Varane is not using Manchester United to land a bigger contract at Real Madrid. Fabrizio Romano said Raphael Varane is not using Manchester United to land a big contract at Real Madrid, which I think is massive, massive news and all of that. Romano also said that Manchester United have gone quiet regarding Kieran Trippier since Atletico Madrid said no to the 12 million bid 3 weeks ago. Atletico said they'd have to pay 40 million for Kieran Trippier, so no wonder that's gone quiet. The Trippier stuff's gone quiet, but the Camavinga stuff's heated up in its place. So maybe the money we're going to spend on Trippier we'll spend on Camavinga, which would be better money sent. Isaac V says Varane, Sancho, Camavinga, Rice. What would you rate that out of 10? I mean, to be fair, probably a 9, depending on Pogba stays or goes. Man United are trash. City for life. Well, Manchester City don't want a European trophy, so I don't know what you're on about and all of that. Two West Hams are playing. Sancho new 7. Well, Sancho's shirt number will be announced tomorrow, surely, when they announce the new kit. No leaks on what Sancho's new shirt is, but I'm assuming 7 or 17. Could Oli turn Camavinga into a pure CDM or not? What do you think? Well, to be fair, Kante's not a pure CDM. He plays in the pivot and he does a defensive role. But I think Camavinga's a bit like a Kante. He's really a box-to-box with a defensive mind and does defensive running. But he could evolve into a top CDM. You never know. Who do I think would be a good backup right back? Probably the Rangers right back. English probably wants to come to the Premier League. I'd probably say him. If you want honest thought. Daniel Fleming has asked me, what is the latest regarding Camavinga. Look, the latest is Man United are still in contact with Rennes for Camavinga. United want Camavinga. He will be sold this summer, blah, 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 boom. You know, it doesn't take a genius to tell you Camavinga will be sold this summer. But it's between Manchester United and PSG for Camavinga. You know, PSG are leading the race for Camavinga because Camavinga wants PSG more, but Manchester United seem more interested in Camavinga and they can get him for £30 million. But I think the situation with Camavinga is the Varane stuff is really heated up this week. I think Man United want to get Varane over the line in the next week. And I think come August, Man United will focus on Camavinga. But I think July is going to be about Varane and August is going to be about Camavinga because we do generally want Camavinga, but it's between us and PSG to get him. I think Real Madrid are also interested in Camavinga and all of that. Man, you can get this deal over the line, but it will take long. We will keep waiting. Yeah, we could definitely get this Varane over the line a lot quicker. But I think what the situation with Varane is, you know, Real Madrid want to know from Varane if he's going to sign a new contract or not. You know, Varane's indicated he's not going to sign, but then he went on the Euros, then he went on holiday. Real Madrid need to sit down with Raphael Varane and hear it from himself that he 100% wants to leave. Because Real Madrid, if they think they can get a new contract at Varane, they won't sell him. But it doesn't look like they are going to get a new contract at Varane, but they're just waiting for Varane to come home. Once Varane comes home and confirms that he wants to leave, Real Madrid have to put him up for sale. And I think United, once he goes up for sale, can put a bid in because, you know, Real Madrid kind of know Varane wants to leave, but they're not 100% sure if Varane generally wants to leave. So they don't want to put a price tag on him until they hear from Varane himself if he generally wants to leave. And I think that's why United haven't made an official bid for Varane because he doesn't actually have a price tag on him yet, if you want my honest opinion. Rebuild FC says, do we have a 20-plus goal striker for the Premier League? Because Cavani won't play every day. You don't score, you don't win. We need to prioritise striker. Martial is being average. Well, I think Martial has it in him. 17 non-penalty goals in the 19-20 season. Had 2 months out injured and played half the season with Pereira and Lingard behind. But Martial's a confidence player. You can't rely on him. Cavani get this injury prone. You can't rely on him. And Greenwood's quite young. So, yeah, but I think we'll be looking at a striker next summer. I guarantee this time next year we'll be linked to a lot of strikers because Edison Cavani's contract will run up. So, yeah. Kieran Warham says that neither McTominay or Fred can beat the press with a cut pass, never break lines of a pass, just watch the Euro final, Verratti and Jorginho for 10 minutes, see how it's done. Exactly. You know, Fred is worrying, and I think the big thing about signing Raphael Varane is I don't think we'll see as much Fred with Varane at the back. Any questions for me, please do pop them down below in the live chat. I'm going to try and respond and read out as many questions as possible. So please do get them down below in the live chat. And if you're new to the channel and you've not seen my face before, please do feel free to subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football because I do daily Manchester United transfer news updates. So if you want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news and transfer news, please do subscribe down below, as it will mean a lot. We do need to move some players on, and we will talk about that at a later date. Pre-season is coming up, so I'll probably do a match reaction and match preview for pre-season. However, I don't know if I'm going to be there for one of the pre-season games because I'm at a party. But yeah, as well as transfer news, I will be doing pre-season match reactions and reviews and all of that. What, according to you, will be a successful season for us? A trophy and challenging for the title. I'm not saying we have to win the Premier League, but let's be in the title race till the final day of the season or the second final day of the season. I think being right up the top near the title, you know, I think last season was about closing the gap between City and Liverpool from like 30 points to 10 points. But I think this season is about really closing that gap and actually competing with City and Liverpool and winning a trophy. I think this is what the season is. And I think, you know, Sancho and Varane added to the squad should make that season attainable. Varane will definitely leave and we'll get him to imagine being a City fan. Look, I'm being really positive about Varane. There's obviously a chance we don't get Varane, but I'm on the same boat as imagine being a City fan here because I believe that Varane will leave and I believe we'll get Varane. I'm pretty confident we'll get Varane, but I'm not a psychic. I'm 90% we get Varane, 10% we get mugged off. I'm putting my heart into the Varane deal. I have a feeling we're going to get him, but we could be mugged off. I could be heartbroken. We saw that with Sancho last year. Naeem says, do you think if we start Camavinga, he gets straight into the starting 11? Honestly, I don't know. Maybe not straight away. I think he will get some opportunities, and it's whether he takes that opportunity or not. But we know all he loves is McFred. I think with Varane coming in, you're less likely to play McFred because McFred is Lindelof protection. So Lindelof won't be playing as much. So honestly, I don't know because, you know, Donny doesn't get in that team. It really depends on who leaves and who comes in, I think. But probably not at first, if you want my honest opinion. The real good news is that we got Chelsea set piece coach and we really need it. Yeah. If you weren't aware, yesterday we did sign Eric Ramsey, who is actually Chelsea set-piece coach. And I think one of our biggest weaknesses our biggest weaknesses were not having pace at the back, not having a CDM and set pieces. And we're looking like we're solving not having pace at the back with Varane. We're looking like we're solving our not having a CDM issue with Camavinga, hopefully, fingers crossed. And look, we've solved our set-piece issue. Manchester United have brought in a set-piece coach, and only Leeds conceded more goals from set pieces than us last season. So that set-piece coach could actually get us 6 more points a season, because you've got to think about those last-minute set pieces we concede. I think that set piece coach could get us 6, 7 more points a season, which is massive. You know, we were 10 points away from a title or something like that. Another 7 points. You know, you really put the pressure on. So, yeah, I think United signing a set piece coach is a brilliant, and almost underrated signing, because it's not a natural player, but I think it's going to have a massive impact and all of that. If we don't get Varane, who's our next centre-back? Koundé, Torres and Cristiano Romero of Atlanta are the 3 centre-backs on the list if we do not get Raphael Varane. But United have dropped quite an interest in all of them. We don't seem too interested in any of those players, so United must be confident that they can get Varane over the line. Mamadou Charm says, hi Alice, what number do you think Sancho will get? I hope they don't use piano like Sancho, but can't wait for the announcement tomorrow. I mean, Sancho's either getting 7 or 17, if you want my honest opinion. Depends on Cavani. Come on, Sancho, I believe in you. It'll be interesting. I think Sancho's shirt will be announced tomorrow and all of that. Hope we come to the final season and win it. I hope we win the Premier League. I hope we win the Champions League. I hope we win the treble next season. Honestly. First pre-season game is on Sunday versus Derby County. We won't be seeing Jadon Sancho in that because he will be on holiday. We'll probably be seeing a lot of the youngsters. But one player I'm really excited to see in pre-season is James Garner. He obviously had a very good loan spell at Notts Forest. So James Garner is that one player that I'm really excited to see in pre-season and see how he does. Daniel Fleming says, what's your thoughts on Man United's transfer business so far, Alice? It's been all right. We signed Sancho, but I think I'm not going to judge our transfer business to the end of the season. The All or Nothing series will be comedy gold. Yeah, the All or Nothing series is going with a mid-table club called Arsenal. I'm sure you've heard of them. It'll be interesting to see Arsenal fight not to get relegated on the All or Nothing series, Really interesting. They're not in Europe, mid-table club. I'm not really that interested in mid-table clubs, but I think that this All or Nothing season is going to be a comedy because it is on Arsenal. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that does. Has Varane joined United? Varane hasn't joined United, but Fabrizio Romano has confirmed Man United have reopened talks with Varane. Varane does want to come, and Varane is not using Manchester United for a new contract. Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that. Please, Ollie should sell Lindelof, Lingard, and Jones. I agree. I think a lot of the players will be going out in August once pre-season's done because we don't have enough. Because so many players have played in the Euros, we don't have enough players for pre-season and all of that. Do you think Paul Pogba will leave this summer? It's a 50-50. PSG in for Paul Pogba. As Fabrizio Romano said today, there's nothing advanced going on between PSG and Paul Pogba. It's a 50-50 where Paul Pogba leaves. Did I watch the Arsenal game? Well, I'm not really interested in watching mid-table teams play Scottish teams, so I didn't. I like to watch bigger games, not small clubs play. So I didn't watch the Arsenal game, but I did hear they lose. So no surprise there. What's the news about Ronaldo Pogba swap? There's nothing in that Ronaldo Pogba swap deal. It's just a bit of PR twist and all that. We're not doing a Ronaldo Pogba swap deal. If Pogba leaves, it's to PSG. Ronaldo's not going to come to Manchester United as of yet. Fabrizio Romano said as of now there is nothing in Ronaldo to Man United return. So yeah, there's basically nothing in that. Any outs news? Not really. I think the outs news will heat up after pre-season because I don't think we want to sell anyone to after pre-season because we don't have enough players. If you want that. Do you think signing Trippier is needed? Well, one, I don't think we're going to sign Trippier anymore. He's overpriced. But two, I think it's needed in the sense we do need backup for Wan-Bissaka. But we do have Delot, and I think you can just keep Delot for a year against his will. I think Delot's, keeping Delot and signing a CDM is better than not signing a CDM and buying a backup right back, if you want my honest opinion. Do you think we will sign Varane in the CDM? Well, I think we'll sign Varane. I'm not 80-90% confident we'll sign Varane off what we know. Varane generally wants us. He's not using us for a new contract. I'm pretty confident we'll sign Varane, but with CDM, I can't tell you that. If Paul Pogba leaves, I believe we'll sign a CDM. But if Paul Pogba stays, we might get Camavinga, but we could lose him to PSG, if you want my honest opinion. Sell Jones to Scunthorpe, I agree. Would you sack Ollie if Zidane agrees to join Man United? I wouldn't, because I don't know how good Zidane is. Watch Fabrizio earlier saying Man United is speaking to Varane. Fabrizio has confirmed that Man United are again speaking to Varane. So interesting news that coming out. For all of you guys that have just joined the live stream, Fabrizio Romano came out today and said that he believes Varane is not using Manchester United for a new contract. Varane generally wants to come to Manchester United. Personal terms will not be an issue. United will pay the wages Varane wants. Romano said, obviously Real Madrid would love to keep Varane, but it's pretty clear Varane wants United. Real Madrid, once they've heard from Varane himself that he definitely wants to leave and he won't sign a new contract, will put a price tag on Varane, and that means once there's a price tag on Varane, Manchester United can go to Real Madrid and make an offer for Varane. United have basically agreed personal terms with Varane. Varane wants to come, United want Varane, but we can't officially sign Varane until we make an agreement with Real Madrid, and we're not going to make an agreement with Real Madrid until they have an answer from Varane so they can put a price tag on him. So we're going to have to pay about 50 million if we want him, but if there's an off chance that he does want to stay at Real Madrid, then we do lose out on Varane. But as I said, Fabrizio Romano believes Varane generally wants to leave. And regarding Camavinga, again, Romano confirmed we are in talks with Camavinga, but nothing advanced yet. We're slow moving talks for Camavinga as well, and there's nothing advanced between Pogba and PSG. Fabrizio Romano did confirm all of that. Where do I think we'll come next season? I get asked this a lot. Top 4 for sure. I'm saying third or fourth, but I think I'm going to have to wait till after the transfer window to see if I can push that third or fourth to second or first. Would I sign Neves? There's a lot more CDMs out there. I want more because Neves can't hold on his own. But if it was Neves or no one, then I'd sign Neves. I'd take Neves, but there's a lot of other players I'd sign before him. Would love to see Sancho debut go. I think we'd all love to see a Sancho debut goal. Don't you agree? Don't think we need a centre forward. Are we good to go with Cavani as our striker? We've got Cavani, and if he gets injured, it's Greenwood and Martial that can fill in. And if they get injured, it's Rashford that can fill in. Any questions for me? Please do put them down below in the live chat. I'm going to try and read and reply to as many questions as possible in the live chat. This guy says, don't you think we need... Oh, sorry. This guy, Ollie Sexual, says, Sancho, Varane, Camavinga is very good winner, but keeping Lingard, Jones, Bayer, Matic is poor. And I 100% agree with you. Look, at the end of the day, I love Nemanja Matic, and he's only out on our CDM, so we can't sell him unless we sign a CDM. But if we were run like an efficient club, Matic would have left this summer, and someone like Declan Rice and Didi, Coopermine, Sumer, Sakara, someone will be coming in to replace Matic. But the reason we are not selling Matic and the reason we're keeping Matic, even though he can't play that often because his legs are gone, is because we haven't lined up a CDM to replace him. There's Camavinga, but he's not an out-and-out Matic replacement. Declan Rice is, but we don't want to sign Declan Rice because he's going to be very, very expensive. We will find out what jersey number Sancho gets at some point this week, probably in the next couple of days. I believe it'll be 7 or 17. I get told that I talk too fast. I probably do talk too fast, but I'm just a quick talker, okay? Red or Dead says we can push for Prem with Sancho, Rashford, Varane, Camavinga, and Haaland next year. I mean, that's a dream, but yeah, I agree. Look, if we get all those players, wow. Antonio says, Sancho, welcome to Manchester United. We need a triple number 9 sticker, whether it'll be Kane or Erling Haaland. He believes we need a number 9. I don't believe we need a number 9. I think we'll need a number 9 next season when Cavani goes. But I say we've got Cavani, Greenwood, Rashford, and Martial that can all just play as a number 9, even though Rashford isn't a number 9. You've got a lot of players to fill in if Cavani gets injured. So for me, getting a number 9 isn't a priority and all of that. Big up Alice and the crew. Thanks, JB, for joining into the chat. We're just talking about all the latest Manchester United news and transfer news that's come out today. Please do subscribe down below to Alice Talks Up if you're new to the channel to stay up to date with all the latest news and transfer news regarding Manchester United and all of that. Of course, subscribe, hit that like button, hit that share button. Any questions you have for me, of course, do pop them down below in the live chat. I'm going to cover a few more questions. Would you sign Lakes Mariba from Barca? Probably not, because I haven't really heard of him, but I probably should have heard of him. I have to research him. Is he a young player? Then Diallo needs to be on the bench. Well, there's rumours that Amad Diallo will be going out on loan. Because Matt has signed a new one-year deal at Manchester United, it's very, very likely that Amad Diallo could be going out on loan, which is frustrating because I generally, if we had a choice, if Mata and Diallo were on the bench and we needed a goal, as much as a good professional Mata is, I would sub on Diallo because I think Diallo is more likely to bring you a goal. So I'm a little bit frustrated in giving Mata that new one-year deal because it just stunts the development of Diallo. When we brought Diallo for a lot of money, and he's a great young player, and I think, we need to get rid of players like Mata and Matic because they're just stunting the development of Donny van de Beek. Matic plays with Donny van de Beek, completely different positions. They're stunting development of some of our main players, so yeah. No, okay, says he just saw Arsenal lost in pre-season earlier. What shambles? Well, Arsenal are a shambles club, but the pre-season doesn't really mean that much. Liverpool lost a lot of games in pre-season. And they won the league the following year, but yeah. Who's striker for United? Cavani is. I think Cavani will be first choice striker unless Martial finds form. But I think Greenwood will fill in when Cavani's injured. Ollie Sexual says, I've seen many people say Rice wants to join Chelsea because he supports them. Luke Shaw and Sancho support Chelsea as a kid. Yeah. I mean, look, he might give them an advantage playing with his best mate Declan Rice. Maybe he doesn't want to move out of London and all of that. But yeah, I don't think it's the biggest impact in the world. David De Gea must stay, says Jonas. This guy says De Gea or Henderson, who should be staying in your opinion? I think De Gea is better. I have no issue who plays because I think they're both good keepers, but I think De Gea is better. Jude Bellingham to replace Paul Pogba. Maybe in a couple of years we'll be in for Jude Bellingham for 90 million, but we won't be dealing with Dortmund again this summer. This guy, Alex Mariba, is an 18-year-old centre mid from Spain. I will do a bit of research on him, but I'm not 100% aware of him. Nick says, so what if Arsenal lost pre-season? It's not about winning or losing. It's about match fitness or sharpness, which is a good point there from Nick Morris. I mean, it's nice to watch Arsenal lose, but I don't think Arsenal losing a game in pre-season means they're going to lose all their Premier League games. I don't think pre-season means much. Mata is a cam backup for Bruno. Yeah, you could say that, but Mata, I always see Mata as a right wing backup because that's where he plays 90% of the time. Rumours on Martial leaving. Look, this guy, Fabrizio Romano said that he doesn't see Martial leaving Man United, but it's possible. But I think Martial's going to stay. Romano says, regarding Van der Beek, Man United like him. Van der Beek likes Man United. It just depends on if a bid arrives for Van der Beek, we might sell him depending on the bid. So Van der Beek's probably more likely to stay at Manchester United, but there's a possibility he leaves. I've been asked again, any news on Camavinga? Is he the only CM/DM Man United are in for this summer? If Paul Pogba goes, we will go in for a centre mid or defensive mid. But if Paul Pogba stays, then Camavinga's the only one we're in for. And just the news on Camavinga is that we're just in discussions with Rennes. We're just talking to Rennes, it's just moving slowly because I think we're focusing on Varane now. Varane is the deal that's really heated up. I think the next few weeks is about getting this Varane deal over the line, and then I think it will be about keeping Pogba and getting Camavinga. But I think that is more August. I think Varane is the next week or two, then I think it will move to Camavinga. I hope Man United sign a good CDM. It'll be more significant signing than Sancho and Varane. I think so. Scoring goals isn't an issue at Manchester United. As much as I think Sancho's a brilliant signing, scoring goals isn't an issue at Manchester United. So I do think there's more priorities ahead of, there's CDM and centre action have been a priority over Sancho this summer. But I am, of course, very, very happy we just signed Jadon Sancho because he's a player we need. But thank you everyone for tuning into the live stream. I am going to end the live stream here as I am ridiculously tired today. But please do hit that like button, and of course subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new to the channel. If you want to stay up to date with daily Manchester United news content, daily Manchester United transfer content, daily Manchester United news, please do subscribe down below to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news. If we sign a player, I'll be live. If we're close to signing a player, I'll be live. If anything relevant happens, I'll be live. If you had any questions for me and you put them in the live chat and I did not answer any questions you put in the live chat, I will try and answer them in tomorrow's live stream. I will be live again at 7:45 p.m. tomorrow night. So if I didn't answer any of your live chats, just subscribe, hit the bell notification. I'll put them in tomorrow's video, and hopefully I can answer the live chats I didn't answer in today's video in tomorrow's video. But everybody, thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, share. Thanks for the support. See you next time.